Think you know Etsy? Well, think again. I get so many different comments addressing 4 specific different myths that I always hear about Etsy that I want to debunk in today's video. Debunking these myths will both prove to be a good thing and a bad thing because some of them are positive myths while some of them are negative myths, but I'm gonna share my truth after selling on Etsy for 3 years. The first myth is that it's passive income because unfortunately, I do believe passive income in itself is something that's very hard to fully achieve. But how it does work is that you aren't trading a time for a specific dollar amount. So you're not working for 1 hour and you're always gonna get paid $15 for that hour. Sometimes you're gonna make $0 for that hour, $0 for months. But sometimes you can take off a few weeks and keep making sales, but you still have to answer to customer service questions. So you can't just set it and forget it. On top of that, Etsy rewards people for being active. That means adding new products in your store. And again, being super hands-on when it comes to customer service, like answering to people in 24 hours. So with these two issues here, you can't just have a fully automated Etsy business. I have managed to make my business as passive as possible by using suppliers who print and ship my product for me, also having a VA who helps answer a lot of customer service. But even with those, it is not a fully passive income stream, even for me. Though I do plan to release a video soon about how I've managed to bring down the hours I've worked on my Etsy store significantly down. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to see that video come out. And especially at the start of your Etsy career here, it's actually going to be the complete opposite of passive. You're going to be working many hours with zero payoff because it is going to be a lot of upfront work to get your listings out, to start learning what products you want to sell, to start creating good designs. So it's not that easy to start, and you're going to have to put in a lot of hours to be able to see even somewhat of that passive payoff later down the line. But is it still worth it? Absolutely. Etsy and print on demand has been the reason I've been able to quit my job and travel the world and freed up a whole bunch of my time so that I can start making content like this on YouTube with the rest of my day. So lower your expectations. It's going to take a while to start and it's not fully passive, but still 100% worth it. The next comment that I want to debunk that I get all the time is that the Etsy fees are too high. Are they unfortunate? Absolutely. No one likes to pay fees, but are they high? Not really compared to what they're offering you. And if you look at any other type of marketplace, they have a very good fee structure. Amazon takes 15%, plus for a lot of people, they're often paying for the subscription, which is 40 USD per month, on top of 15% fees on everything that you sell. If you sell digital downloads on a place like Creative Market, they take 50 to 70% of every sale that you make. If you sell on Shopify, you are still charged credit card fees, which Etsy does charge as well. But on top of those, you are paying their subscription fee. Plus, if you're running a successful Shopify business, you are probably paying a bunch of subscriptions for different tools that you need for your store. Mine currently equal about $200 per month in all of the fees for the tools that I use combined with my Shopify subscription. And the biggest reason that 7.5% from Etsy isn't that much is because they drive you traffic. People search on Etsy and find you. I'd say about 99% of my sales on Etsy are fully organic. I have a few that were run by ads, but I maybe just test ads for like a few weeks at a time and they've never been profitable for me. So majority of my sales are fully organic from Etsy versus when I'm selling on Shopify, I am paying for Facebook ads, Google ads, spending time on social media, and I usually have a CPA, which is a cost per acquisition or cost per sale, from about $10 to $15 per sale on top of my subscription fees and the credit card fees. And then if you actually drive that traffic to your Etsy store, Etsy gives you a rebate of 5% back from that sale. So instead of 7.5% of fees, you're paying 2.5, which is very minimal compared to a 7.5 or compared to what all these other marketplaces are charging. So anytime that you're charged 7.5, it's because Etsy organically drove you that traffic, all for zero monthly fee, which is amazing. So you're only getting charged when you make a sale. The third myth that I want to debunk is that Etsy is oversaturated. You can't make money selling t-shirts anymore. You can't make money selling sweatshirts anymore. Well, that is simply not true. Trends are constantly changing on Etsy. We see products that get added a month ago and become bestsellers and sell hundreds of products a month. Things that were bestsellers 2 years ago might not be bestsellers to this day because trends and wants, different memes that become popular, different styles are constantly changing. In fact, I did a video a few weeks back on the top 2025 trends, and in that video, I show you a bunch of trends that just started, and they're selling t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs that were listed in the last month that are making hundreds of sales. For example, these QR t-shirts were not a thing in 2024. I just started seeing them in 2025, and there are so many bestsellers. And if I take a look at this using my Everbee research tool and I go to product analytics and I just look up QR code shirt and then I sort by monthly sales, you can see that some of these are making 800 sales a month listed in the last month here. In fact, a bunch of these are making killer sales, and yes, listed within the last 30 days. And some of these, even taking a look at their store, were created, like their whole store was created late 2024. Just scrolling over using Everbee, I can see their shop age. So yes, some of them, which are making the top sales in this type of niche right now, the shop age is 2 months old, 3 months old, 7 months old, 3 months old. So just because you didn't start back in 2020, I didn't even start back in 2020 when the sales were astronomical for Etsy, that does not mean you cannot be successful if you started today. Printify, which is also my main print provider, they're the supplier that prints and ships all my products for me. They are constantly releasing new products to the market that are becoming bestsellers for people. Recently, they launched woven blankets, and there are so many different woven blankets killing it on Etsy. Like this one here, making 300 sales a month. This was created only 3 months ago. We have another one down here with 97 sales a month. Again, this is just with one product. This isn't for their whole store. That is the sales for one listing, and they created their listing only 2 months ago. Printify recently launched Zip sweatshirts, which could be a brand new product that not a lot of people are in right now, but I could see applying to a whole bunch of niches and a whole bunch of people. I absolutely love Zip sweaters, so I'll probably be adding some of these to my store. In their new arrivals, we have things like frosted candles, different crop tops, different baby tees, tons of new products that you can stick out from the market by offering. So just as it was 3 years ago, as it is today, you can be successful on Etsy. You just need to be following trends. You need to be following product trends. You need to be finding ways to add value to the market or differentiate yourself, and you can still absolutely be successful with Etsy and print on demand. And the fourth myth that I love to debunk, because my store definitely does not follow this rule, is that Etsy is a race to the bottom in pricing and that you can only make sales if you are selling t-shirts for $7. If you actually look on Etsy and you find a t-shirt or a sweatshirt for $7, just click into the listing. A lot of times that $7 is for a baby onesie that would never have a best dad printed on it. So no one's ever gonna actually buy that. Or they have a product that is sold out, that's the $7, and they're charging a whole lot more for the sweatshirt, which was their main photo, and they're charging shipping as well. But even with that, I don't do this pricing at all. I put a high price on my products. My sweatshirts are listed after sale at $32 US plus shipping. Everything that I sell is actually higher than a lot of my competition because it actually looks like I'm probably selling a better product than someone selling something that looks like it's $7. If I was buying a gift for someone, a gift for my mom, I don't want to buy something that's $7. I'm going to expect this to look horrible. Versus if I'm spending a little bit more on something, I'm expecting a better quality. And the products that I sell are good quality. I'm not selling anything that I think when someone is going to get that they're going to be disappointed. In fact, one of my main competitors in my main niche sells even way higher than me. They sell their sweatshirts at $45 US. They never run sales and they are killing it on Etsy because people are expecting high value from the product. They are getting it because that's what they expected and they are happy. And usually this type of customer is also going to complain a whole lot less. When you are trying to appeal to people who are buying things at $7, a lot of times they're more often to ask for refunds, make complaints compared to the higher value group, which is happy to spend a little bit more. And I also find that you're just more likely to make people happy when you're not tricking them into buying a sweatshirt that's $25, but when they clicked into your listing, it was $7. When people go to my listing, the only thing that might shock them a little bit is I have a bit of a shipping fee, but it is not a high fee at all. So it's not enough to deter someone from buying versus from that $7 listing, when shipping's $10, that's more than double the price they expected to pay. And you're gonna get a lot more unhappy customers again with that. So I just charge much higher from the get-go. And then because I make more profit per order, I don't need as many sales per day to be making enough money, which also in turn means less customer service for more money. For those who are skeptical about selling on Etsy or print on demand on Etsy, print on demand in general, or if maybe you were just expecting too much from Etsy, that you wanted this to be passive income and be making you millions right off the bat, I hope this helped just clarify some things so that you can move forward confidently with your Etsy store. And if you have any other concerns that I could possibly debunk, let me know in the comments below and I will get back to you with my experience selling on Etsy for, again, these last 3 years. Thank you guys so much and I'll see you next week. And don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, please. Thank you.